Hi, I'm Liliana Soohoo-Hui, and I'm addressing the prompt, how will you apply any lessons learned from a challenge you faced to the position of resident assistant? So this past summer, actually, I had a really close friend tell me that they didn't want to be friends anymore, which came as a shock to me and everyone who knew the two of us. This was difficult for me because I was trying to answer questions like, oh, like, did I do something wrong that I'm not aware of? Was I a bad friend? Like, why don't they want to be friends with me? And after a while, I came to realize that I had done nothing wrong. And not to say that I was a perfect friend, but I was a pretty good friend. And I ended up talking with them about it later on, and it turns out, that was the case. Like, I had done nothing wrong, they just simply didn't want to be friends anymore. To me, this made sense because they had been changing a lot personality-wise, so I came to terms with that decision in time, and to this day, we're still in contact, just not as close. But what that situation taught me was that you can do everything right and things still might be less than ideal, but how you respond can either help or hinder your growth as a person. So as an RA, I feel like this lesson has heavily impacted the way I offer help to my residents. An example of this is one time, actually same thing that I mentioned in my video about how I would enact the Holy Cross mission. One of my residents was very anxious about possibly testing positive for COVID since she was in close contact with someone who tested positive. And because of what I had learned from the above mentioned experience with my friend, I was able to comfort her by explaining what would happen if she did test positive. So the worst case scenario, since she was asymptomatic, would be she would just have to move for a few days and then she would come back. So by focusing on what she could do in response to a less than ideal situation, she was able to calm down enough to pack her things in case her test came back positive. So overall, I feel I've integrated what I've learned from that situation into my practices as a support for my residents.